Enforcement agencies preparing for protests and potential violence in the event that former President Trump is indicted. While there's no evidence that will happen today, as Trump had claimed, there are signs that prosecutors in New York are wrapping up their investigation into the hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels. Senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky has the latest.
Former President Trump releasing an insult-filled statement on social media about prosecutors and Stormy Daniels after earlier making an unverified claim he would be arrested today, stemming from an investigation into a hush payment to the porn actress weeks before the 2016 election. It's not the payment, but the way Trump accounted for it that could make him the first former president to face criminal charges. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has been investigating this for years, but in recent weeks called in former aides Kellyanne Conway and Hope Hicks, along with Michael Cohen, once Trump's fixer, who has already served federal prison time for writing the check, he says, at Trump's direction.
The facts are the facts. The truth is the truth. And the truth will always rise.
Robert Costello, a lawyer who testified for Trump and said he once advised Cohen, called him unreliable.
And I've listened to Michael Cohen stand in front of the courthouse and say things that are directly contrary to what he said to us.
Republicans, including one of Trump's potential 2024 rivals, said charging him now smells of politics and took a shot at the district attorney.
They weaponized their office to impose a political agenda on society.
On social media, Trump called for protest, and that has drawn the attention of law enforcement, seen here dropping metal barriers at court.
NYPD is doing their normal role of making sure that there's no inappropriate actions in the city.
Intelligence bulletins obtained by ABC News warn of a significant increase in threats and violent rhetoric and say some of Trump's most ardent supporters are still willing to fight on his behalf.
And Aaron Katersky joins me live now outside that court in Manhattan for more. Aaron, what's the scene like there?
Well, it's mainly reporters, to be honest, Diane. There's no indication of when an indictment may come, so while they've dropped off metal barricades, I think that's more for crowd control at this point and to make sure people going to work in these buildings can actually get there. We're not sure the grand jury is even meeting today, and so it seems unlikely that an arrest of Trump could come today, as he put on social media over the weekend. But law enforcement is certainly talking about the possibility. We've learned that the NYPD and the U.S. Secret Service have been planning for the possibility that Trump is indicted and what it would take to get him here to court for a surrender.
Now, Aaron, some Republicans are getting ahead of a potential indictment, calling it political persecution. How are prosecutors responding to that?
Well, the district attorney's office put out a statement on behalf of the DA, Alvin Bragg, to push back on some of the political criticism. Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, accused DA Alvin Bragg of pursuing this political prosecution and ignoring crimes in his own backyard. And so the DA's office put out crime statistics that show that crime here in Manhattan has actually gone down in the year and change that Bragg has been in office. They anticipate these kinds of political attacks. Bragg himself has said he's not unaware of them, but he's trying his best to avoid the politics as he decides whether to move forward with an indictment.
Now, Aaron, if Trump is indicted, what happens next?
Well, if he is indicted, Diane, the U.S. Secret Service and the NYPD, as I say, are planning for the possibility of a surrender. Every white-collar defendant in New York is given the chance to surrender for booking and processing, to be fingerprinted and photographed. Trump, of course, is unlike any other white-collar criminal defendant because of the Secret Service involvement, and all of that is now being coordinated. But in some sense, he would be treated just like any other defendant. He'd have to appear in court and be made formally aware of the charges. And from there, it's possible that any trial would be, at least a year off.
All right, senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.